Donut time.
Talk with your mouth full.
What was the most mischievous thing you did as a youngster?
Ooh, I thought about that one. I shouldn't tell you these kind of stories.
You haven't already covered it?
No.
Uh-oh.
One of the most worst things I guess I ever done, and it's kind of funny. I don't know how. I was a little older. I was probably 12. I knew better. I always had a BB gun all the time. And there was a grocery store that we used to always drive down to or ride our bikes to and get stuff to eat and everything. And his dad owned a motel just like 100 feet away from the grocery store. And he had about 25 units, little houses you could rent right next to the highway. And he had probably 100-watt lights, 150-watt light, just a regular light under, porch light under each one, under the front door. Sabarshi or something his name was. Well, he was a mean sucker. If you were just walking by his property, he'd tell you to get the heck out of here. Don't come across here. This is for people who are staying overnight and stuff. And he was always yelling at the kids. So me and my buddy, one day we said, let's get him. So we took our BB guns and we go down there at night and we shot out every one of those lights with our BB gun. Well, we shot every one. And God, we were laughing, and that sucker was standing there, and he caught me. And my buddy got away and told my dad what happened. And I finally told my dad, who was with me, Bobby Enner, I can't remember. Bobby something, can't remember his last name. Anyway, before it was over with, me and him, we go talk to him, and he says, all right, for 1 week, plus I had to buy new lights, for 1 week, both of us, after school, we would go along and pick up all the garbage, people from the cars going by, throwing stuff out. We'd have to clean up. For a whole week we did that.
Jeez.
I mean, so and I deserved it. I knew better. And I think then another thing I did that bugs me, that behind our house, which was a Chinese orchard, or Japanese orchard, they had all kinds of stuff. And this guy had been working on a house probably for years, but then it was just laying vacant. There was nothing in there. The windows were knocked out. Kids would go by and throw rocks through it. And one day, and it was right below the irrigation ditch that I used to go up fishing to all the time. Well, I think there was 3 of us that time. Anyway, we go up there and we said, let's go see what's inside there. So we go inside there. And, there's this old stuff, insulation and this and that. But on the corner there was at least 10, 15 great big plate windows.
Uh-oh.
And they had a frame around them, and they were all laying on top of one another. And we talked it over. So we ended up taking a couple big rocks about that big, and we threw right through, and of course the rock went right through every one of them, just shattered them all. And boy, I mean, for weeks, a couple of years after that, that was always there. We'd look in there, and it was just the way we left it, all that broken glass and that. He never did, but it was always, I don't think he ever went in and even knew they were ever broken, because that place was just sitting there forever,
That's a good excuse.
Oh, yeah. I think about it now, boy, I needed my butt kicked for that. But I think that's about the only thing.
Grandma wasn't mischievous. Grandma's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, Grandma was perfect.
Huh?
You were perfect.
Unless you have something you want to admit to.
Is there something you want to admit to, hon? Something you did that you were ashamed of?
Just making mud pies in a gas tank.